Today on Weekender, all smiles in the Apple Isle. Touring the treasures of Tasmania.
Into the wilderness we go.
A deep dive into Van Diemen's Land by boat, bus and train.
Canapes and champagne on departure. Don't mind if I do.
Folks, welcome to Tasmania. Tassie, Van Diemen's Land, whatever you want to call it, this wonderful little full stop at the bottom of our great nation is packed full of treasure. Gastronomical, natural and historical. This is the Richmond Bridge, built in 1823. It is the oldest bridge still in use in the country and a wonderful spot to kick off our Tassie tour. So the question is, are you ready to take a big juicy bite out of the Apple Isle? Thought so. Let's go.
Our Tassie tour will take us all over. 11 days exploring our smallest state and biggest island, with fun over 50 holidays, immersive tours and adventures. Along for the ride, 24 fine-looking fellow travellers.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, join you.
Fun over 50 holidays!
Leanne, our lovely host.
Oh, that was fabulous! Well done, everybody!
Her hubby, Chris, our coach captain. Nice shades, pal. And this glamorous lady.
I'll give you a moment to drink her in. Meet Diamante. This is Fun Over 50 Holidays, sparkling new Diamond Class coach, AKA business class on wheels. And I'll tell you this, she is all set to turn heads all over Tassie. Aren't you, you saucy minx?
What better place to show her off than Tassie's capital? We're in for a 2-night stay at swanky Grand Chancellor Hobart.
And Fun Over 50 guests get premium rooms with harbour views.
Dinner is steps away on the old wharf at the Drunken Admiral.
This dark timbered inn is crammed with flotsam and jetsam.
Like the creaking belly of a tall ship. On the table tonight, tastes of the sea. But this 2-century-old building is known for more than great food.
We had the gallows here, people were hung here, decapitated here.
With its dark past, the Drunken Admiral is among Hobart's most haunted places. Jason, our waiter, has his own story.
I've seen a lady walk past me out the back. I thought it was one of the girls finishing up. So she's gone past me and I'm thinking, oh, where's Jade going? Not realising that Jade's actually outside waiting for me. And I'm following this stick and then just boom, she was gone. I'm like, where the hell, where's she gone? Anyway, and then all the lights went out. And I went outside.
What's happening?
I went outside and Jade was outside. Oh, it's just hail.
Blind as a ghost.
In the cheery light of day, spirits are high. Sorry, couldn't resist that one. Because we're bound for Bruny Island. Bruny Island safaris have scooped us up for an optional day trip, and Rick is our guide.
So we're just coming over the d'Entrecasteaux Channel, named by an early French explorer, Antoine Bruny d'Entrecasteaux. It's also where the name Bruny came from.
Our first stop, picking up provisions, and let me tell you, they do not come any fresher.
Well, get shark, Dave. I've seen a lot of things in my time. I've never seen drive-through oysters. Oh, Tassie, look at you go. Let's go, Rick.
Okay.
You.
We've come to Two Tree Beach, an absolutely stunning place for morning tea. And there's not a scone in sight.
Now, I've never tried a cheese from the Bruny Island Cheese Company that I didn't like before, but what I will say, they're a bit on the expensive side. This one here, $100 a kilo. This one here, $100 a kilo. This one here, $125 a kilo.
Now this is the 1792 and it's actually infused on Huon pine, which is only found on the west coast of Tasmania. And the smell of that pine, smell that. You getting that? You getting those notes? And the taste. Oh.
If you tour Bruny Island with these guys, tip, bring an appetite. The day includes honey tastings, lunch, and a fudge frenzy at Bruny Island Chocolate. I think it's time to burn off the calories at Cape Bruny. At the end of a very pretty walking trail stands Australia's second oldest lighthouse. Local guide Shane is taking us up the tower, built in 1836.
The government at the time got 12 convicts from the penal colony of Port Arthur, and they were stonemasons and labourers, and as an incentive told them if they could complete all this stonework side of the lighthouse within 18 months or less, they would be granted their tickets of leave or their freedom. Now they're only using hand tools, remember? Well, they did accomplish that feat and they were granted their freedom.
Beyond the old lamp room, a door to incredible views.
Oh, look at that view. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
That's what I said. Isn't it?
Up for another climb? Well, our last stop is a place called The Neck.
Geez, look at that, mate. What's that view? Number 1, 2, 3. I'm running out of fingers here.
It's not too bad, is it?
That's a beauty.
You've got the south and the north, and then the isthmus joining it together. Well, isthmus means a narrow stretch of land joining two larger bodies of land.
Isthmus?
Isthmus.
Isthmus. It's like I've got a lift. Tasmania, I love it.
Well done.
Welcome back to Tasmania with Fun Over 50 Holidays. From Hobart, we've found our way to the forest.
Oh, look at you.
A place of fallen giants, ferns, and flowing lace.
Oh my God, look at that.
Russell Falls thunder through the stillness of Mount Field National Park, perfectly formed like a landscaper's dream.
When God was handing out beauty, I reckon Tassie just pushed herself to the front of the line because it offers up scenes like this time and time again.
Good start to the day for our band of travellers, I reckon. There's time to wander the forest too, where swamp gums, the world's tallest flowering plant, stretch to the sky. Tassie is known for its rare timbers, the raw material at the heart of our next stop. Wall in the Wilderness is a mind-blowing attraction in the Central Highlands. 100 metres long, this epic work of art was hand-carved by one man. It took Greg Duncan 11 years of his life, working 7 days a week.
Greg, you're a bloody genius. Seriously, I know you're a humble man, but this is extraordinary.
Well, thank you.
How did the idea come about?
Oh, it was a combination of a lot of things, but I think I've always wanted to work on a large scale.
Yeah.
You have to think ahead. I had to think of buying the land, where I was going to do it. I had to think of, you know, how I'm going to fund it, which meant selling the house and everything I owned to fund it, and then come up with a concept that would appeal.
You believed in the idea so much. How was that conversation with your wife? How did that go?
Oh, well, it went as good as it could have done.
Having sunk every cent into his dream, Greg set to work.
Can you tell me about the enormity of this? Do you call it a piece? Artwork?
Well, it's an artwork. It's a combination of panels combined to tell a story. Every panel is 3 metres high, a metre wide, 4 inches thick, and then you stand it up and you work off a ladder and carve away, and eventually, bit by bit, the story unfolds.
Greg is still telling the story, and each page affects the visitor in a different way.
We can do 70,000 people a year in the middle of nowhere, no funding. The people are fantastic.
We're back on board Diamante, and she's dancing us to a place called Turralee. This highland village of Art Deco cottages almost feels like a movie set around middle-class Australia circa 1930s. Now holiday lets, these were once the homes of workers on Tassie's first hydroelectric scheme. Lunch is at the Highlander Arms, where the fire is lit and a warming bowl of soup is waiting. A cosy spot to get to know Leanne and Chris.
I love the fact this husband and wife team are keeping everyone sort of on time, entertained. It's a cool, unique thing, isn't it?
The guests love it.
Yeah,
all
they
the
do.
guests love it.
And we love it, like 24/7,
You can tell.
Yeah, we really do. And the banter, you know.
Yep.
Gives me grief and I put up with it, you know.
Vice versa.
The good thing is I've got a mute button down here and I can turn my hand off.
Do you know, that's a true story. I can be talking, all of a sudden I go off, he turns my button off.
I wish I had one at home sometimes.
We're very lucky to do it together.
Yeah.
It's given us more than we even imagined.
You care, and I think the agenda I can tell is that you want people to feel what?
Oh, they're family. The moment they come on our coach, they're our tour family.
Tour family.
They're not a person in the seat.
How do you sum up Tassie?
Just undiscovered. It's just a place that people leave with a totally different opinion of it because it doesn't matter where you go, you're seeing a part of Tassie that is a wow factor.
And here's another wow. The ridiculously pretty harbour town of Strawn on Tassie's west coast. It's our base while we explore the west. And no surprise, we're staying in style.
Oh, I like it. Very cool. Oh, 2 levels. I win. Is that? Oh, that's a fireplace. Yes. Oh, look at you. You know, people say when they're on holidays, oh, the econ doesn't matter, you're never in the room. It does, especially when you're a place like this. Like that looks down to Strawn Village, these beautiful 19th century cottages. Looks amazing. And then this, the star of the show, that big, beautiful harbour. Oh, and there's all our people gathering for a drink. That sounds good to me. Into the wilderness we go. All aboard, everyone. All aboard.
We've joined World Heritage Cruises for a day trip across Macquarie Harbour. Fun Over 50 Holidays book premium window seats for all their guests. But if you like the wind in your hair, up on deck is your spot.
Well, what we're coming out to now is a little body of water, the entrance of the harbour, called Hell's Gate. When the convicts saw it in the early 1820s, it looked like the very gates of hell.
Those wild seas foretold the misery ahead.
G'day, how are you? Welcome to Sarah Island, guys.
We're on tour with Lyle through the ruins of Tassie's most feared convict settlement.
The most bloody, the most brutal, and the most dreaded of all the secondary settlements.
Those who couldn't be tamed in Hobart were sent here to suffer, tossed into solitary cells.
And each of them, 3 feet wide, 6 feet long, and 6 feet high. About the same size as your grave.
And this is where the worst of the worst were sent, the expert absconders, the prolific reoffenders. This was brutality epitomised, and the records tell that story. Just in 1825, 240 men received 10,000 lashes, and it goes on and on. Yet despite that, there were a couple of surprises.
Like the new penitentiary.
Okay, everyone, let's look at that. This is the only sandstone building in the Sierra Island.
3 stories high, Doric columns, curved sandstone stairs, water views. In the midst of hell, a 5-star stay for 90 lucky inmates. Go figure. Happily, we are free to leave, just in time for lunch. Joining me is my tour buddy, Joanne.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Silver service, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Adam.
Oh my goodness, how are we going to eat all this? Isn't it beautiful?
I think just between us, I'm going to have to buy another belt. The food on this trip has been...
It has been excellent.
And you're not going to eat your brownie, so I'll grab that off you.
Aww.
After lunch, we slip into the Gordon River, a World Heritage treasure. A special place for our skipper. Riley's family has plied these waters for 128 years.
You're part of a 7th generation dynasty?
Yeah, mate, yeah, I'm the 7th generation of us to run tours here on the harbour and the river. A long family tradition.
How far does that go back? What year?
They came to Strawn in about 1886, the family, and they launched the first motor launch in Tasmania in 1896. Yeah. So a long, long time.
In the 80s, Riley's dad and granddad ferried protesters up the river to stop it from being dammed.
Some days there when you go into the Gordon River after a nice rain squall comes through and you get the fog coming through the valleys, it's just breathtaking. Almost like something out of Jurassic Park, because it hasn't changed since prehistoric times. And I don't know, it's just a little bit special to be able to take people into this area and show them the beauty that we take for granted seeing every day for their first time.
Welcome to Heritage Landing. We're about 12 kilometres up the Gordon River now into what we now call the World Heritage Wilderness Area. This forest is actually older than birds, okay? Just put that into your mind for 5 seconds. Basically, when you think about it, what you're looking at is very similar to what Antarctica would have looked like about 175 to 200 million years ago.
A big day deserves a relaxed finish. At view, 42 degrees, drinks by the fire, and a chat with Carmel.
Lovely to meet you. And this is your second?
This is my second trip, and I have another one booked for after Christmas. And yes, it's just got a fabulous atmosphere.
And that's a big deal for you because you came on your own. I mean, that's not easy, irrespective of what age you are.
Yes, absolutely. And after I had done the first trip, I didn't feel nervous about doing the next trip because I knew this is easy. You go, you're having fun, things are done very well, and you're meeting wonderful people.
She's a natural beauty, but Tassie has scars too. What's left of Ironblow copper mine sits in a stark, stripped landscape near Queenstown, once the world's richest mining town.
To haul copper from the Queenstown mines to the port in Strawn, a 35-kilometre railway was built in 1896. Well, 128 years later, and the West Coast Wilderness Railway is still chugging along.
At Regatta Point Station, it's all aboard this classic train hauled by a restored loco. Fun over 50 guests travel in the wilderness carriages, and trust me, I can get used to this kind of wilderness.
Canapes and champagne on departure. Don't mind if I do.
This is one of 2 heritage train adventures with West Coast Wilderness Railway.
So we operate our steam engines on the steepest section of the line. They are needed to operate on our rack and pinion section, which is incredibly unique. The diesel engines, they extended the railway line's capabilities for 10 years after they counter coal getting very expensive. They're a personal favourite of mine. I do love them. I probably
I love how your eyes light up.
I know.
About diesel engines.
Yeah.
This could potentially be one of the most remote places you've ever been. And essentially no one else comes here other than us guys here on the train. The UNESCO World Heritage Area covers around 25% of the entire state of Tasmania. If you were to travel in a straight line from here heading southeast, you wouldn't come across any infrastructure, roads, buildings, anything like that for around 200 kilometres, pretty much until you're hitting Hobart.
On the way home, afternoon tea with a balcony view.
Well, champagne, pumpkin scone, and the West Coast Wilderness. We're okay. We're okay.
What a great experience. And at Journey's End, this beautiful train doubles as a restaurant on rails. Tassie, you do bring it.
Thoughts on the trip so far? What do you reckon?
I have had a great time in Tasmania. It's been a really great trip.
For sure.
Oh, and so well organised. I don't have to do anything.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's been a dream so far. The good news is this is just the first course in this big, beautiful rolling feast that we call Tasmania.
So join us next time on Weekender.
For more from the Apple Isles.
Are you two trying to take my job? What's happening here?
Yes.
Gotta watch you both. See you soon.